this session for you guys to take a stab at winning something. Some of you have not even won anything since you started joining the training session. So today might just be your lucky day. Um, so our facilitator is here. Finn, are you ready for us?
Yes, yes, I am. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. Let me just please share my screen. Okay. Is it up? Can you see my screen? Hi, Clement. Hello, good afternoon.
Oh yeah, yes, I can see it.
All right, great. Thank you. So, welcome to the final session for the social media management training. I hope everyone has learned something. And thank you to everyone that sent in their applications to join my mentorship program. So today we're going to look into the future of social media marketing. Initially it was analytics and stuff, but we have gone through that in previous classes. So today I'm just going to teach you how to basically make things a little simpler for yourself, especially because I noticed that a lot of people have some challenges in how to write their content. So we're going to look into the future of social media marketing and basically how to do things on your own if you are just an entrepreneur or if you're not, if you don't run a social media marketing company or agency and you want to do things on your own. So that's what we're going to look into. And before that, let's just go into the assignments for this week or the task that I gave you. And we have three winners. The first is, I think this is Joe Yemi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I like the fact that the person has really giving a detailed, information. They didn't just use their name, so if you Google organic spices or organic food or foods or organic or any keyword here, it's likely for their name to pop up, especially if you're in the, Ikpaja environment or anywhere around that. And you can see that they also optimized their social media, their Instagram, which I taught you guys in previous classes, which is why when you Google them, you can also see their Instagram page pop up. So this person has done really well. The address is there, the time they open and the time they close. And I like that they wrote food seasoning manufacturer, which isn't something really common that you see. The second person is Inspired Adira, who I would say has done every single assignment really well. So they even have a link to their WhatsApp here. They have what time they open and what time they close. This person has included pictures of their materials or the things that they make. They have a detailed description and the clothing store um company industry description is quite accurate, and they've also listed service areas where they serve and the times they open and times they close. And you can see a few keywords in the description, although you can keep your description a bit shorter, maybe a bit concise with really important information, but this is really well done. And the third person is Flourished Cakes. Um, so this person has their phone number, has cake shop, has the address. You can see that it already pops up in the map if you're around that area. Or if you just Google them, you can see where exactly their location is. And they have, a full description of what they do. So cake and small chops, you can read other things. But maybe I think the major product is the cake, which you can see reflected in their name as well as in their description. So well done to these three people, and well done to everyone actually who submitted. But I'm going to highlight two other people that have done well, but I'll just give some tips on things that you can do better. So Creative Edibles, for example, this is well done. However, you have Wedding Bakery as your description or as your, industry, but the major category again is wedding cake shop. However, your description is more about chin chin and other things. So you might want to, if you actually do cakes, you might want to make cakes the number one thing in the description, and then also put other things as well. Maybe list out the things that you produce or something like that. It makes it a little easier for people to understand. You also put pastries and everything. You can change this from wedding bakery to maybe a pastry shop or cake and pastries or anything that really relates to what you do as a whole so that you don't confuse people. And the last person is Pixel Builders. So this is, I think, a digital market or digital agency, because I can see it from the website here, but you have business administration service here, which might confuse people. So you might want to look for something more relatable to what you do when you're doing your when you're picking your business category. And also for everyone, you can send links for your Google pages to people that have related with your business or things like that, so that you can have some nice ratings on Google. All right, so let's go into today's session. And again, I said we're talking about the future of social media marketing, and we're going to talk about using artificial intelligence to handle your marketing. Who's the first person? The first person is Joy Emmy. Joy Emmy. Is in no particular order. So Joy Emmy, Inspired Adire, and Flourished Cakes. So those are the three winners for this week. All right, so if we're ready for the class, please text or type yes in the comments so that we can see, I can see your excitement that you're ready to learn. Thank you. Thank you for your swift response. All right, so let's do a quick recap of what we've taught over the last 6 weeks. So key social media management essentials for your business before we go into using artificial intelligence. Remember one thing I said was content clarity. So ensuring that your message is clear, concise. Concise means that it's not too lengthy or too long. It's something, brief that people can easily understand what you're writing from a short thing, from a short sentence or statement or a few statements strung together. Use strong hooks, which is your head copy or I think I showed you some examples of the types of hooks that you can use. Keep your brand voice consistent across all posts. Make sure you don't sound professional one day and playful the next day. Just keep a sort of, professionalism all through, even though you want a playful voice or a friendly brand voice. Another thing is your visual quality. So the first one is content clarity, and the other one is your visual quality. So use high quality images, videos, and graphics. I remember showing you an example of I think I Googled cakes or checked cakes on Facebook, and I showed you why I picked a particular company because their videos were really clear and they showed what exactly they were selling. So those are the types of things that people will look for when they're checking your pages. Also, maintain some consistency with your colors, your fonts, which was in my first class, where I told you guys to decide on what colors, what fonts, what layouts you want for your brand. So if you notice in my slides, I use blue generally because that's my brand color, even though I use different shades of blue, but I just make sure I keep that consistency everywhere, even if I'm adding other colors. And then you can use tools like Canva, Adobe, or CapCut. I know Canva and CapCut, you can use the free versions. I'm not sure about Adobe if there's a free version, but if there is, you can use it. And if you need to know how to design graphics and everything like that or videos, you can go on the Adara YouTube page and just watch the videos on graphic design, photography, and now social media marketing. So the next thing is the targeting the right audience. And we spent some time on this. So you need to know who you're speaking to. So you're not wasting your time and your efforts on social media. You need to know what platforms are important. For example, LinkedIn is for more professional stuff and TikTok is for more fun and playful things to be able to capture the attention of younger people. Because let's be frank, a lot of young people these days do not have a really good attention span. So you have to capture their attention as fast as possible. And again, use your analytics to refine your content strategy based on engagement trends. So if you check your, I think I taught you how to check your Instagram, your results, your analytics, and you see that people engage with one thing more than the other, just refine your strategy and go back to the drawing board, see if you can produce more content of what people like, as opposed to the ones that people are not engaging with. And another one is budgeting. So make sure you put aside some funding for content creation, for adverts, for partnerships. It can be social media partnerships. You don't even have to pay for some social media partnerships. If you find any other brand that is willing to partner with you, you people will share contents, together and then maybe tag each other, things like that. For more followership or more engagement, you can do that. And experiment with A/B testing to ensure that you're getting your return on investments that you're spending on your adverts. And the last one is that yeah, it's good for organic reach is good, which is usually when your content is really good, people tend to engage with you. Or when you engage with other businesses, they engage with you as well. But if you need some form of amplification, you might just decide to go into running adverts. So make sure you budget properly, don't spend more than you can afford. Yeah, and things like that. And then engagement and community building, I think I just touched on it. So it's not just about posting and disappearing. Make sure you engage your audience, make sure you talk to people, make sure you use polls or stickers or anything interactive that people can just either click yes or no, or just, so that you know that you're not just speaking to people. People are actually responding to you, they're understanding what you're saying and things like that. And make sure you respond to comments, messages, mentions. There's so many businesses I'm sure you have noticed on Instagram that you want to buy something and they reply you after 3 weeks. Things like that just show unprofessionalism and it shows that they're really not serious with what they're selling. So make sure you're consistent with your responses on your pages. And you can use user-generated content, which is like maybe testimonials from clients. You can ask them to send in, maybe they bought something from you, you can ask them to send in a text of how well the quality of what they bought from you is, and you can post things like that to build credibility. So when other people go to your page, they see that people have actually bought something from you, or you can post the work that you've done for clients, you can post videos from clients, things like that on your social media pages will help you, be more credible. Also collaboration with influencers, although this might take a big budget. So only do this if you have the budget for it. You can collaborate with influencers in your field, for example, for some form of credibility, because people trust these influencers and they believe that if they're relating with your brand, then they know what they're doing, or you know what you're doing. So we're going into using AI for social media. But before that, do you have any questions? If you don't, you can type no in the chat. And if you do, just type your questions. All right. I can see one no. No, no, no. All right, great. So I'm glad everyone understands and remembers everything that we've taught. So we're going to go into using AI for social media now, and these are just some of the AI platforms that you can use for different things on social media. I know a lot of people know Chat GPT, which is the most common. But if you want, like, for example, a more humanized version of it, you can use Claude. You can use Google Gemini or Gemini. And you can use a lot of all these other things to either track your audience, write your content, refine your content, do your calendar, check what your competitors are doing. Depending on what you want to do or whatever you want to do is what will influence the type of platforms that you can use. So if you need to do anything AI related, I would suggest a quick Google search and then find a free version and then just do whatever you have to do on it. So, for example, you can use ChatGPT to refine your content for social media, and you can use some other AI tools. Let's say you want a voiceover, for example, and you don't want to record it yourself. You can use some AI tools to record human-like voiceovers that you can use for your Instagram or TikTok content. So there's so many AI platforms now, way too many, and there are different things that they do. So just do a quick Google search, find the free version of what you're doing, check the reviews, and then just go ahead with it. So we're going to have a quick poll now, and I want you guys to let me know what you think the key benefit of AI in content creation is. Godwin, when you're ready, please help me put up the poll. The humanized version is Claude, Claude, and you can also tell ChatGPT to humanize the content for you. So that's another thing. No, sorry, AI does not, let me just state this, does not replace human creativity entirely. It depends on how lazy some people are. There are people that just go and use AI platforms for every single thing, even as their therapist. Well, it doesn't replace human creativity entirely, it enhances it basically. So you can have your idea in your head and then use the AI to amplify your idea or make it better or flesh it out, right? It doesn't replace human creativity. Let me just make that clear. But yeah, one, like I mentioned when I showed you the list of AI platforms, one thing, sorry, you might hear a bit of banging. I'm not sure if you can, but just ignore it. One thing you can use it for is to generate text, images, videos. I just mentioned like using AI for a voiceover or maybe Canva AI to generate an image of something. And I'm sure you people have been seeing some cartoon form of people's pictures on social media. That's people are using AI to just get a cartoon form of them or of their pictures. So that's one thing that AI can do for you. So let's go into, I like this video. Let's go into today's session, and I'm going to just break some down for you. So one thing you can use AI for is targeting. You can use it to get your ideal target audience or break your audiences into different segments. I hope you remember our session on targeting, where you can build your target audience based on your demographic, psychographic, geographic location, or like their interests, their everything, basically how you can use that to target your audience. So that's one thing you can use AI tools for. And I'll give you an example of the prompt. So why I said AI does not replace it or replace human efforts is you have to know what you want to do or what you want to get from AI, right? And then you now put in a good prompt and that brings your result that you want. So I gave an example of a prompt here where I'm asking what is my ideal target audience for an African print fabric production business in Lagos. So this is more of inspired Adira or any other clothing business that is in this training. And then I'm telling it that I want it based on demographics, based on interest, and based on purchasing behavior. So I'm giving it detailed information of what I want. It's different if you just say, I make fabrics, what is my ideal target audience? It might not give you as accurate results that you want. So make sure that you're very specific in what you're asking for. And then I've asked it to provide three ideal customer personas. So when it generates something like this, for example, I can now, because you already have an idea of what these things are, you can do it yourself, but maybe you're tired or you don't really have the time to build target audiences for different things. You can just use AI to help you or give you a better idea of what is already in your head. So when I say three ideal customer personas, it can give me three different ideas, and then one of them might be something I've never even really thought of targeting, right? And two might be the ones that I'm already targeting. So I might decide to use the third option and then just use that for my Facebook post. So AI basically helps you with what you already have in your head, but it helps you, it works together with you to bring out better results. But just make sure that your prompts are not bare or lazy. Make sure that they're detailed and, they really go with what you are looking for. Another thing you can use AI for is content direction. So it can help you plan content for your audience interest. Now, when you already have your audience, so you know that you want to sell something to people of a certain age in London or in Nigeria, you can now use that to run your AI prompt. I've given an example here now. I own a bakery in London, so the AI platform will originally pick up information on people in that location. And I've told it what we specialize in: bread, pastries, cakes. And then I've asked what type of content should I post on my social media pages and why. The reason I put and why is because when it gives you an option, or when it gives you, let's say, 10 options, you can read the reasons and say, oh, this doesn't apply to my business or things like that. So you can ignore the ones that don't really apply, right? But this type of prompts now will let it think and give you an in-depth response on the type of people to target. So it can tell you target working people in a certain area because during lunch break they want bread, things like that. So it will help you, and you now decide to use your own common sense and your own understanding of your audience to select which option makes more sense to you. I hope everyone understands that. If you don't understand anything, or if you want me to repeat anything, please make sure you type during the session. You can also use AI tools to check trending topics in your, thank you, Abdul, to check trending topics in your industry. So this is the platform I was saying that is somewhat more simplified. So you can use ChatGPT, Gemini, or Gemini and Claude to generate trending topics based on keywords in your industry. So you can just use a prompt like, you can ask, uh, I'm in the business development space in the USA, specifically this particular area. What are people talking about on that, in that industry currently that I can use for content? Like things like that. Make sure you're very specific on what you're looking for. Don't just use it as a lazy means to an end, or to lazy means to just get something. Let me just post on social media and people will leave me alone, things like that. But you have to make sure it's detailed. Your prompt is very detailed. So an example I've used for trending topics is generate 10 trending content ideas for a social media marketing business that will engage audiences on Instagram and LinkedIn. So from this example that I've given, it is clear that I want content ideas for a social media marketing business, and the platforms I want to post it on are Instagram and LinkedIn. So it will give me more professional options for what to post on social media, as opposed to if I say give me content for TikTok, right? So you can play around with some AI platforms and you get to understand what exactly I'm talking about now. When you change your prompt or switch it up a little bit, you see that the answers you get will be a little different, a little more tailored to what you are originally requesting for. So you can also use AI for content calendar planning. So you can ask to create a content calendar for your business. Now, I've written a prompt here and I'm going to say another prompt, and so that you can just get an idea of why it's important to be specific. So if I say create a 30-day content calendar for my business in Lagos, it doesn't know what your business is. It will create a content calendar for you, or it might ask you for information on what your business does or what your industry does. Or if you want something more in-depth, something that would actually speak to your audience a little better, you have to be specific. So something like create a 30-day content plan or calendar for a generator repair business in Kano, Nigeria, including post ideas, captions, hashtags for Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And then I've also added that I want to include some things in this content calendar. So tips, information about generators, any other relevant information. What the AI platform will do here, it will not only provide a 30-day content plan for you, it will pick information based on the platforms, and then it will, I would say, break down or differentiate content depending on what platform you want to post it. So the content it will write for you for TikTok will not be the same as what it will write for you for LinkedIn, for example. And then the platform might also pick up some, let's say, important things that you should know if you are living in Kano, Nigeria, and you run that type of business. So it will also include it in the calendar as opposed to, let's say, another location entirely. if you say maybe generator repairs in London, it's to give you a totally different information because it's not the same type of generator. So you have to make sure that you're very specific about what you want the AI platform to do. Another thing is content creation. So you can write your captions with your different tones. So even if you have a caption sometimes in your head, maybe you want to write something about we provide or we make the best traditional fabrics in Lagos, Nigeria. You can type that into an AI platform, let's say, for example, ChatGPT, and ask it to change the tone of the text to something more persuasive and include a call to action. So it will refine what you've written and give you something more, something more interesting depending on what your prompt is. And an example of a prompt like this is I want to write on 10 ways to style a human hair wig, and I need content written for an Instagram carousel post. Keep the tone friendly but professional and include an engaging caption and call to action that encourages booking a wig styling appointment. So I've asked it for what I want my results to be. I've asked it for what I want my tone to be, and I've asked it for the type of content I want to write for Instagram carousels. So you can use um AI for to simplify things. I noticed, like I said, a lot of people have like really lengthy things, especially in your Google My Business profile. So you can decide to copy what you have currently and ask it to refine it based on whatever goal you want it to, whatever goal you want to get from it. So I think that's one thing that you should all do, especially people that submitted their screenshots. You can just try to refine your content. I mean, the description, you can either make it more concise or make it easy. You can ask AI to make it easily understandable, or you can ask it to, refine it for diverse audiences. Anything you want to do, just make sure you're very specific in what you're asking. And I think the last one is content repurposing, which is what I personally use AI for because sometimes I don't have the time to start writing content for different platforms. So if I have a long form blog post, for example. So I have maybe 1,200 words and I want to pick out some important, just short parts of it that I can post on Instagram. Or if I wanted to write a script for me for a YouTube video or a Facebook video, I just copied the full thing and ask it, excuse me, I just copy the full thing and ask it for a shorter form and then say what platform I want to use it for. So an example of that is I have written the content below for my LinkedIn and I need a script to record for an Instagram reel. Sorry, there's a typo here. For an Instagram reel, repurpose the content for a catchy, interesting, and engaging Instagram video. So it will not write the content the same way that you will see the content on a blog, right? So you might write the content in a way that the hook is catchy. So the hook is the first few sentences or the first few words that you say. So something like, oh, stop buying bread. This is why. Something like that. It might refine it as opposed to maybe the title for the blog is 10 reasons why Nigerian bakeries should not sell bread again. And then on Instagram, it changes it to something really short. So that's how you can use AI to repurpose content. So if you don't have the time to write content for different platforms and you want to give a different look or different feeling on each platform, you can refine your content based on, or you can repurpose your content and you can use AI to simplify that. Again, this is for people that are not particularly social media managers, but want to use it for, their businesses because there are other aspects of your business that you want to handle and you really don't have time to sit down and be thinking about content or all these things. So you can use AI to refine. You can plan a content calendar for a whole month. You can give it a list of topics you want to write and tell it to write a content plan or write out the caption for one whole month for you, and then you can just design the caption any day you have time on Canva. I mean, design your graphics any day you have time on Canva and use a scheduling platform. Like Instagram helps you schedule posts by themselves. So you can decide to schedule the whole post for a whole month and it will just be posting for you. All you have to do is go back and read the post or read the comments or share it to stories or things like that. So it makes your life easier so you can focus on, running around. Or if you're a real estate company, sometimes, you're on the field and things like that. You don't have time to sit down and write content. So you can use all this to simplify, but it's important that you know the basics, which is, content quality, targeting, things like that. So you're not just following AI blindly, you know what you want, what your goals are, what you want to use it for. So we have another poll. Um, what makes AI useful for content repurposing? The poll will come up now, and then I'll wait for the results. Olayemi has asked if the slides will be shared. I'm not sure, but the video will be on YouTube. So you can rewatch the video when they share it on the Adara YouTube page if there's anything you're not clear about. And you can also send me a message if possible. All right, so everyone actually selected option A, which is it customizes content for different platforms, which shows that you understand what I've been teaching and I've not just been, talking. So thank you for that. All right, so I'm going to give some best practices for running AI prompts before we go into the games for today. And these best practices are what will basically make it easier for you to get better results as opposed to because if you use a certain AI prompt, thousands of businesses are using the same prompt in a day. So everybody is ending up posting the same content on the social media. So you have to know some best practices so that your own content will be a little more unique. So the first one is be specific. Your objective has to be very clear. In the examples I've given, I'm sure you've seen some of that. For example, instead of saying write about social media, which a lot of people will put in let's say ChatGPT, for example, and then you should write about social media, and you see a lot of businesses posting the exact same thing. You can decide to refine yours and define your objective so that it's clearer on what you want. So create an Instagram caption for a fashion brand's summer collection featuring this. The fashion brand part, you can say for an African print fashion brand or for a vanilla cupcake bakery or anything, make sure you're very specific so that you don't get the wrong things that you're as a result that you're going to post on social media and you don't end up posting the same thing that every other business online is posting. And then use detailed instructions. For example, if you want to post on Twitter, now called X, you have a character limit. So you have to write out the character limit. If it's a blog post you want to write and you want 2,000 words, make sure you use, the information on what you want. You can also add instructions on what exactly you want the content to cover. So this example says a new freelance tech product launch. If you want it to cover the location of the launch, the time, the date, who is invited, things like that. You have to write them down and then it will generate something more detailed for you, still within that 150 character limit. And then specify your output. So you want it to be a LinkedIn post, for example, you want a professional tone and you want it to have bullet points. You are specific enough. So when your content comes out, you have, everything well written, and then you can now proofread and edit some things to make it sound more like you or more human if that's what you want. You can also use the right context. So add some information, like some background information, so the AI platform can understand what you're asking for. So instead of saying create an ad, you can say create a Facebook ad for a skincare brand targeting Gen Z. AI already knows the age grade for Gen Z or the age range or the target age for the Gen Z people, but you can also decide to add a location. So you can say in Lagos, Nigeria, or in Abuja, Nigeria. Define your target audience, you see, because now this Gen Z is a general classification worldwide, so it's the same age range. Or if you want something more targeted, you can decide to break it down into the specific age that you're looking for. Specify your role or what you want to use it for. So for people that are in the professional services or service industry like me, you can decide to use a prompt like this. So from a social media manager's expert point of view. So it writes it as you're a professional, and then you can now refine it or use it. You can rewrite the content entirely, but at least when you read whatever it has written to give you an idea of what to write in your own article. So you don't particularly have to copy whatever you get. Sometimes you can just use it for ideas to just, get some ideas on what exactly you want to write or what exactly you need for yourself and for your business. Um, you can provide a scope or a constraint. A constraint is something like your character limits or things like that, so it doesn't go above that. Or you can say, this example now, a social media carousel post with 5 slides. So it knows that it's not giving you 200 um bullet points. It's giving you only 5 so that you can put each one on a slide. And then you specify, obviously, influencer marketing trends in 2025. So it's giving you current trends and not old trends or future trends. It's giving you what is important this year based on information that it has picked on different platforms online. And you have to define your tone. So if you want something funny, professional, witty, serious, anything, just make sure you define the tone or write the tone of what you want. So for people that sell things like cake, food, or anything, happy, bubbly, you can use that type of keyword. So I want a fun, bubbly, happy, friendly caption on so topic. That's basically how you can use AI, define your tone when you're using AI. You can provide keywords like I just mentioned, so fun, bubbly, happy. Make sure you match your tone to the platform. I think in the last class, I showed you an example of a funeral home where they were dancing on TikTok, which is not appropriate. So make sure you match your tone to your business and then to the platform. So you can't go on some certain types of platforms and be posting some certain types of content, except you're on Instagram where basically everything goes. Make sure you give examples. So the example I've written here is a Facebook post on a controversial conversational and friendly tone like MTN Nigeria. Because MTN always uses something bubbly, if you notice in the messaging. So the AI tool will probably go and search online for MTN's content that they've pushed out in the past or their adverts, and then pick up what type of tone they use and then use it to refine your own type of content. So those are some of the things that you can use AI to do. So I'll just go again, be specific, use the right context, and define your tone. So now we're going to answer the last poll of today before we go into our interesting game. And the question is, when writing content with AI, what is one thing that you should consider? All right, so I'm just looking for the answers of the poll. Uh, what who picked ignoring edits? I know this person is just messing with me. So one thing you should consider is your brand voice and your audience. I know that I've mentioned it countless times, and I still did today. So I'm 100% sure that the one person that ticked number 4 or option 4 is messing with me. You don't ignore edits and revisions. You check for edits and you revise content. So you don't just do a copy and paste of whatever the AI platform has done. You have to still edit it, make sure it sounds like you, make sure when people are reading it, it doesn't sound like a robot. So personalize everything that you do. So does anyone have any question? Does anyone have any question? You can share on in the chat, and then, or if you'd like the mic, you can decide to ask before we go into the game. Exactly. Oladotun has said that even the AI platforms tell us what to check what you're giving. Yeah, they tell you to refine content, especially if you're writing content that you use research information for. I don't even suggest that you use AI for things that you have to research. I think you should use like data intelligence platforms like Statista and stuff if you need to work with actual data, but you can refine the content. Olayemi, I think I answered this. I'm not sure if the slides will be given. Godwin will be the best to answer that. But you can watch the videos again on YouTube as many times as you want. And then if you need any clarifications, you can still send me a message on WhatsApp. I posted a link for a one-on-one mentorship session. So if you want to join, although we already have times three of what the number of people I want to pick, but I'll see if there might be accommodation for more people. So if you want to check the chats, the WhatsApp chats, and fill out the form for the one-on-one mentorship, so you can ask personal questions if you have them, let me know. All right, so we're going into a quick quiz. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a bit so I can share the quiz. Hold on. All right, so please, there will be a link shared. Am I the only one hearing this music? I don't know. But there'll be a link shared on the group. There'll be a link shared on the group on WhatsApp and here for you guys to basically join the Mentimeter. So please click on the link if you can. Enter your name. Does anyone have challenges? Let me know if you can join. Well, hold on, please. I'll start it from here. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Start now, please. All right, so Ola Dotson is leading currently. Second question, are you ready? All right. Let's see who's leading now. Ah, okay. It's still Ola Dotson, so well done, Ola Dotson. Okay. Let's see who's leading now. Wow. Oladosu is still leading. But Ifeoma has come all the way from the bottom and then she's fourth now. So let's go. Let's go. Fastest fingers first, guys. Okay. Well, I'm glad a lot of people got this one right. So it shows that we understand what I've been teaching so far. Wow. Taiwo has come up. Okay, Oladosu is still leading, but Clement is very close. So let's see if Clement can take over. Wow, you people are really fast. Great. Please, if you selected emoji and polls, I don't understand though. Let's see who's leading now. All right, I think it's still the same. Nobody has moved. We're almost there, guys. We're almost done. Oh, okay. If you're confused on impressions and engagement rates, please send me a message after this so that you can understand it better. But let's see who's leading now. Ola Dodson didn't answer that question. Why? Okay, so Clement has taken over and Sophia. So Ola Dodson is third now. Interesting. All right, let's go. Well done, guys. I'm glad everyone got that answer. Ola Dodson is back. Wow, Clement is still the fastest. All right, we're almost done. Well done, guys. Your marketing goals. That's the correct answer. So let's see. It seems Ola Dodson is coming back. Yeah, Sophia is first, Ola Dodson second, Clement, and then Taiwo. Sophia is the winner with 7,088 points. Well done, guys. Closely followed by Ola Dodson and Clement. Please send messages to the group chat and then you get your gifts this week. Thank you guys for participating. Well done to the winners. Please let's drop some emojis in the chat for Sophia. We didn't expect that. Drop your emojis, please. Thank you for my Sophia. Nice one. Well done. All right. We're done earlier today, so I'm just going to give an opportunity for any question. If you have a question, please send. Clement, thank you. It's okay. It took efforts to put the game together. Well done, Sophia. Well done, Clement. And well done, Oladoto. Well done, everyone that joined. And thank you guys for actually joining the session from, the first day. It's been 6 weeks. I know how challenging it might be, but I'm glad you joined. Clement needs help with meta ads. Okay. Clement, please fill the mentorship form that I dropped on the group. If you need it again, please just drop a comment on the WhatsApp group and then we'll share the link. It closes tomorrow. So after tomorrow, you get your emails if you were selected. And then if you're not selected after tomorrow, you can still send me a personal message and we'll just go through the meta ads together so that you can get a full understanding of it. Does anyone else have a question? Thank you, Inspired Adure, and thank you for always submitting, your assignments appropriately or your tasks. Thank you, everyone. Let's just wait a little bit for questions, and if there are no questions, I'll just pass it on to Godwin. Okay, so I'm guessing we don't have any questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Finn. That was a very engaging, exciting, very interesting and hilarious session at the same time. Thank you very much. We enjoyed your session. Guys, I'm going to be dropping a link on the chat box. So it's a survey form, to give us feedback on the training section, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, your thoughts, basically how you feel we can improve the session, also feedback on the facilitator, if you like to see her again, Um, so thank you guys. Also, I'd like to inform everyone that this is not the end. So we're having digital marketing session next weekend. So those of you that have friends that are interested in digital marketing, please let them know that Adara Foundation is doing something amazing for young people out there. And as you all know, our facilitators are always amazing. I know those of you that started from the beginning, you enjoyed Mr. Sonto. You probably thought that was the best we had in our archive. You met Godwin. Now you have met Afin. We have another amazing facilitator coming up. He's going to be handling the digital marketing session. Please stay tuned. Look forward to another exciting journey on digital marketing, all for free. And for those of you that have lost track, maybe there's something you forgot, you can also always go to Adara Foundation YouTube platform to, refresh your memory and, you have the resources there. So I don't think you have any excuse. You can watch anytime you want. So somebody kept asking for training slides. We may not be able to share the training slide with you, but do check our YouTube platform. I'm sure every other information you're looking for is already there. And guys, we also have another amazing program that is currently on. It's called Next Level Funding. So Adara Foundation is also offering grants for young entrepreneurs. If you have businesses that are scalable, businesses that have potentials to create a pipeline for employment, please do register. I'll have the community managers put up the link on our WhatsApp platform. If you're not on a WhatsApp platform, please you need to indicate right now so that you can be added to the WhatsApp platform where we have a lot of exciting informations that are going out there. Our facilitators are always there as well, from mobile photography, Somto Godwin, our graphic designer, facilitator, Finn also there. And Finn is also doing something amazing, by giving the platform for those of you that want to, enroll on our private mentorship class. So please see how you can jump on that. And guys, we'll see you next Saturday, same time. You know how we do it over here. So if there's other information I need to share, I'll put that on the WhatsApp platform. Please don't forget to take a stab at the survey I just put out there. It'd be nice to get feedbacks on everybody's input and what you think Adara should improve on these training sessions moving forward. So thank you guys. Till we meet next weekend. Thank you so much, Fee. And we hate to see you go, but it is what it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Godwin. Bye.